Hey guys, it's Robert. Sorry I've been MIA for like ever. I've I'm gonna be honest, I've just been busy with work and trying to figure out what would be perfect for a series on my YouTube channel. I've been trying to get stuff up and running. Anything I have been working with my friend Kyle on his stuff, Iron Night Cinema, and I've just been thinking. I do want to do like a car restoration stuff and all that, but I just don't have the time. That I need money. I need money to buy cameras and all that. I don't have that right now. So I was like, what can I do on my budget basically with this camera and my knowledge? And it came to me a little while ago, and it just came back to me tonight. And I'm like, all right, I gotta sit down and actually talk about this. I've always been into the paranormal, NASCAR, and football, and racing in general. I grew up around racing. My aunt and uncle owned a racetrack back in Pennsylvania called Dunhill Raceway. If you've heard of it, great. If you haven't, now you have heard of it. But um, one of the things that I am a big fan, like I said, paranormal and racing. There have been stories of some racetracks being haunted and some not, or supposedly haunted. Or, people get some stories about, hey, this is kind of weird. I think even, if I remember correctly, one of the Dale Earnhardt himself actually was very superstitious. Like if you handed him try to hand him a $50 bill, it was like he would like try to get away from you as fast as possible. Um, with that being said, like I want to do like stuff like that, like drivers that were superstitious. Why were they superstitious? Uh, the hauntings, haunting at a track. There have been reports of hell, Watkins Glen, people saying they saw McDuffie on the turn he died at. There is stories, I gotta look into it, that the Indianapolis Speedway has ghosts. One of them was seen by Dale Earnhardt himself on a motorcycle. My glasses are crooked, or I'm just sitting right. But I want to dig into this. I want to dive deeper. I want to talk to drivers that were superstitious, or why was there superstition in sports? Um, I'm also a big fan of the NFL, like football. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. Go Bills! No ifs ands or buts. I will. um, I want to look into maybe some of the storied history of them. There are stories of paranormal happenings in the NFL as well. I'm trying to keep my glasses from glaring down on my screen where you'll see what I'm recording on. Actually, let me move that real quick to there. And now I can look without the glare, right? Yep, good. I'm about to do this. um, so, with that, we are going to, and I know there was a story a while ago that Aaron Rodgers saw the man in the hat, which is supposed to be something, a paranormal situation. I want to dig into these. I think I want to call it a couple of things. I want to call it haunted racing or superstitious racing for anything NASCAR and racing in the racing world, and superstitious football or something, or haunted ball or something. I will think of a name for the football version. But I think superstitious raceway or racing would be the more for the racing, the NASCAR, the Indy, the F1, the rallies, that kind of thing. I mean, Pikes Peak. That would be more interesting for me, as I've had family. My name is Robert Stefanik, after all. Mike Stefanik, or Stefanik, however you want to say his name, was my distant cousin. It was like my dad's second cousin, which would make him my third, I think, cousin. Distant cousin. It'd be a lot easier just to say that. But, racing's in my blood. And I can't race physically because I don't have the money. But I think if I can do anything with racing, I can't. I'll be kind of like, it'd make me feel a little better. And I want to do, as it's getting spooky season, and this won't be just like, ooh, spooky season, then I disappear again for another year. No, this will be as much as I'll do research as much as I can and everything. And I'll try to get videos out periodically. I'm going to talk to my friend Kyle, who's the Iron Knight Cinema, to help me make some stuff for, um, make some, like, help me editing, teach me editing, all that jazz, like putting pictures in of people. I think my first story I want to talk about, I'm going to look, I think my first NASCAR story, I do want to talk about as much as I want to talk about Earnhardt's, the $50 bill thing, I don't think I'll do that one first. That will be later on when I can actually talk to some drivers. Like, if like, hey, I do the show, how would it, like, I want to on the show to talk about some superstitious stuff, and Dale, or like the $50 Dale Earnhardt. Like, I talk, if I can get Junior on here, which that would be amazing, and talk about it. And I think Tony Stewart. I think Tony was the one involved with he was trying to jokingly hand Dale the 50 while Dale's in a car, and Dale's just like trying to sink away from him. And it said that Richard Childress came by and closed the line. Tony, I have to research that. I just found it one day and just was like, that's hilarious. But I want to do that. But I want to get Tony involved. And if I can get big enough, I do want to do paranormal hunting, paranormal hunts, or paranormal investigations are called. That should be what I'd be calling them. I'm not. Why am I calling them hunts? We're going hunting, boys. Quick, the dueling banjos are coming out. Run! But like, I want to do paranormal investigations at racetracks, and we can get me big enough into this. So like, hey, I can buy the equipment. Let's go out to Indy. Let's go to Daytona. I don't think there has been a death at Bristol, but Indy, I know, in Daytona, I know. Indy just has the history, like, for years. Like, even if there hasn't been a death at Indy or any at a track, I wouldn't be surprised if there still isn't any paranormal activity, because some people just like to linger when they're gone. So with that, that's what I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to think of, and I think I'm going to start soon. I don't know when my first video is going to be. It's probably going to be late September, early October. August, Jesus, we're already past August. It'll be like around late September, early October, and it will be mainly like, I'm going to be recording them and trying to get them all figured out. I mean, hell, if you look in my bottom left corner, where's my band? Right there, there's a ghost trap from Ghostbusters. So, yeah, I just realized that as I'm looking. And right next to him was actually Dale Jr.'s Elvis car. So, yeah. And maybe when I can bring up some stuff, like I'm talking to, like, about some cars and stuff. Like, hold on. Like, I'm, like, let's talk about some, like, history of NASCAR and stuff. I mean, I've got Kevin Harvick's. This is like right after his Earnhardt's death, like Senior's death, is one. Like, this is, I don't know if this is the Atlanta win design. I have to relook, but this is one of the cars. Like, the white 29 was the right after Earnhardt's death, and right next to that, I actually have Dale Jr.'s. With the Olympics. I think this was 4th of July. I'm dirty. But yeah, I think what we can do is we can talk about some cars and stuff too. Like, as with diecast, I can probably hold the diecast up and talk about how cool the paint design is, or the paint scheme, and doing my own something with that. The sky's the limit when we come to this kind of thing. So I'm excited for this. I'm going to put this back. Get over there. There we go. I'm kind of excited for this. I want to do this more. Really, like, I want to talk more about history of NASCAR, racing in general, paint schemes, why they did certain things. Like, some of it's common knowledge, some of it's not. Like, why modifieds are certain ways, and all that. That's actually somewhat now. Like, why did modifieds go left when NASCAR went with the straight stocks went right. So kind of like that. But I think I've rambled on enough. Yeah, I'm already seeing the 10-minute mark. That's kind of what I'm at right now, and that's what I'm kind of thinking is, what do we do? Like that's my idea. Superstitious racing, maybe superstitious sports will be the other one, because maybe I can not just like have racing as one, like racing its own little like superstitious stuff, and where I talk about the racing, the race teams, the race cars, the race teams. No, not race cars. Race teams, race tracks, individuals in the racing world. Maybe even cars, or maybe even a car or two that are haunted. I mean, Talladega, they were always talking about it was on cursed land. Like Talladega International Speedway is on cursed land. And the first race, somebody was actually told, get out of the fucking car. Um, so that could be, so we can talk about that. For sports wise, we can talk about individual football teams, baseball teams, basketball teams, and all that, and like the superstitions of everything, like all that. And I think we can do that. I think honestly, I can do that. Okay, no, that's on my mod. Sorry, I thought something was with my hair. Um, but I think we can do that and have a good time and have some fun. And we all learn something. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head, but it's like late for me and I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna end it here. But that's my plan, and I hope that you guys will join me on this journey. Have a good one, everybody.